Hi everyone, it's another episode of Craft, Banter and Chat
with
Dave of Dash of Dave and
Brian of the Silvered Fox.
And we're on take 2 of this, aren't we, Brian?
Episode 12, take 2.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we've had to start the intro again because we were recording it through the PC and the fan kicked in and we can hear the fan more than we can hear our voices. So the introduction is us now, and the next bit you'll hear is where we've cut it, and it'll be the actual podcast as it was recorded.
But of course, with your editing skills, it'll be seamless.
Let's hope. Okay then, folks, we're going to hand you over to the podcast. Episode 12 of Craft, Banter and
Chat. Take 2.
Banter, as they say. So we've got the craft, we've got the chat, and we're going to have the banter.
We're going to have the banter. And evidently these are questions to ask friends. They came from a list called 201 questions to ask your friends. Now, I'm not asking 201 questions.
No.
But I've chosen a few. So do you want to start with a fun one? Or do you want to start with somewhere we've been?
I'll start with a fun one, I guess.
Okay.
Start on a high.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever done in public?
Oh. You can't ask me things like that. Not having given me any time to prepare. I'm only just getting over from coughing every time I laugh. So,
but you laughed and you didn't cough. That's good.
No, I know, but
oh, now I've killed him. Shall I go first?
Yeah, do. Please do.
I'm not sure I should, but I can think of loads.
I've already wiped it from my mind. What the question was, because
the weirdest thing you've ever done in public.
Right,
okay. Questions to ask a friend. And we're amongst
but
friends.
Not necessarily share on the internet.
Well, we're amongst friends, technically, so... I mean, I can think of lots of weird stuff which I would never put on the internet because, you know...
It's the internet.
It's the internet. And it's my life, but...
Oh, there's another clock stopped. Sorry, just having a look at my clocks. There's more that have stopped than there are that are going. But anyway.
We'll have to do a refresh of them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so... Weirdest thing from a fun point of view that people might like to know is when I lived in London, before they knocked it down, I went skinny dipping in Centre Point Fountain, which, for those who know London, Centre Point is a huge building at the end of Oxford Street and the start of Tottenham Court Road, and it had a fountain at the bottom of it. And middle of the night, just a little bit of, alcohol inside me.
Just a little bit. There needs to be a heck of a lot for me to do that. So.
Well, there was quite a lot. Dead opposite the fountain used to be the entrance to a nightclub. And me and my friend, Portia Farley-Smith, it was her fault, rolled out of this nightclub at some ungodly hour in the morning and decided skinny dipping would be a good thing to do. So I went skinny dipping in the Centre Point Fountain in the centre of London. It was freezing. Yeah.
When was it? What month?
Oh, God, I don't know.
All right. It was freezing, so it could have been July.
It could have been. Could have been any time.
Any time during the summer months.
It probably,
could have been. So I guess the what was I can't remember.
The weirdest thing you've ever done in public.
I guess dressing up. Dressing up.
As?
I dressed up as, I think it was Diana Ross or one of the 3 Degrees. And I, bearing in mind, so it was when I was working in retail, we tried the shoes off a mannequin, but they were really hard to walk in because they've got a hole cut in the base of them so you can get the spike in. But they were the only ones that fitted me because they were like giant sizes, because I'm a size 10, which in America is 11, I believe.
Yeah. Something like that.
So I had those on, so I ended up having to put my Doc Martens on. Bearing in mind I had like Doc Martens with the yellow stitching that came up to your ankle.
Yeah.
I
know them well.
So I'd got those on. Bearing in mind I'd also got like, I think I can't remember, they were a fishnet or a very sheer tights on.
Did you shirt?
No.
Ooh.
I know, really. It was. I think they were like sheer tights because they were it was like almost being exfoliated, or like getting in between the knit and pulling the hairs out.
Yeah.
It was an interesting look, I will just say. And I had a gold lame dress on, full length gold. I mean, I was slimmer at the time. I'm going to cough again. I'd got this full length gold lame dress on that was split right up the side, right up to my bottom, like my buttock.
With your sheer tights, exfoliating your hairy legs.
And
there's some hairy legs there.
I had a really big like afro on. Bearing in mind I had a goatee at the time as well. So like it was Diana Ross with a goatee.
A white Diana Ross with a goatee.
A white Diana Ross with a goatee, yes it was. And the goatee didn't match the afro. So because I had a ginger goatee and a black afro. It's laughing that's made me cough again. So
you can't have fun because
no, and the thing is, we'd all because it was our lunch break, so we were doing it for like some charity or something event. Yeah. I mean, the other things that I've done for charity, like we won't talk about now, but and we were out in Marks and Spencer's, buying a sandwich. So
what did you do?
Marks and Spencer's is a posh supermarket here, quite a posh place, isn't it? Well, it was definitely a lot posher.
It used to be considered posher, yeah. Not so much now, but
this was back in the 80s. So, and this woman tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, love, do you work here?" I've never
Did you not come up with some witty? Did you not come up with some witty line from the song or from a song?
I do you know something? Even now I don't even know whether I could think of it. Where did our love go?
Weren't you in the middle of a chain reaction?
Oh yes, yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember what happened, but I just remember all of that, and and she was like, when I turned around, she was like mortified.
Can you imagine?
Although bearing in mind, I've got a full length gold lame dress on and Doc Martens.
I know, but I bet when you turned around, it was a ginger goatee that threw up. She's probably thinking,
and I'm 6 foot, so I'm not
yeah, you're not smart. So, she's probably thinking, oh,
I could not wear those heels though. I tried.
The same colour as my mother's.
I tried to wear those heels, but it's not the wearing heels. I feel like probably
heels just take a little bit of practice.
It was the whole.
It pulls your muscles,
but it's the hole in because it was they were cut in the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was the hole, and there's no support, so your foot kind of pushes through it.
Yeah.
Because you've got all your weight on it, and it was so uncomfortable.
So you end up with a big lump like a blister.
Yeah, hanging out from underneath you. Not at all comfortable. So
yeah, and not a good look, I'm sure, but
no. So I think that's the one I'm prepared to talk about anyway.
Fair enough. So, you made me think of something. So I'll tell you a weird moment. It wasn't really in public. It was in a shop where I worked. But you talking about tights made me think of it, and it was just a weird moment because I was in an armed robbery.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
And we were held up. I used to work for the sock shop. For anybody that knows it, they were a big company. 80s, 90s.
You were held up better than the sock shop socks were.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, early morning, 2 of us working in the shop, and it was in Covent Garden. It was a big, long shop with a big, long room at the back, and then a tiny little loft at the back. 2 men came in. They had guns. I opened the safe, gave them the money because I wasn't going to argue with the man with the gun, and they tied us back to back in the office and legged it. So they tied us up tight. we managed to get out because they were tight and they were stretchy. Phoned the police came, then we both fell to pieces. But just having a conversation with the policeman, and he was like, yeah, so you did it, yeah. And they tied you up. What did they tie you up with, mate? And I went, Pretty Polly, 50 denier, opaque, and I think they were a crew. And he just looked at me and he went, all I needed was tights. But I knew, because I'd watched him rip them out of the packet when he was tying me up. So I knew exactly what it was. So weird, yeah.
I'm going to have to cough again, bro. Sorry. I've been holding it back while you were talking.
Go on.
Anyhow, yeah.
Do you want to talk something crafty? I know. It's a nice pattern, though.
I make a nice pattern when I cough on the oscilloscope, whatever it is. It's not an oscilloscope.
I don't know what it is, but
I don't know.
It's pretty. Yeah.
It's the sound waves.
It's almost like when an animal's been skinned and laid out as a rug. It's that kind of...
lovely. Yes. Yeah. Be careful. You nearly hit that thing. And if you hit that thing, it all goes wrong.
I tried to go around it. Anyway.
So, yes. Anyway.
Favourite place to go for stuff?
Oh, these favourite place to go.
Do we have a...
The favourite place to go for ephemera, so like genuinely old ephemera, like the places like we were talking about it earlier today. That place over yonder.
Bygone times.
Bygone times, that's it. Bygone times.
In Chorley.
And is it in Chorley? I'm not really sure where Chorley is, but I've been, so...
I know, you've been to Bygone Time.
Yeah, we have. Or Elsica, which is a heritage centre.
We've been to Elsica a lot more than we've been to Bygone Time.
I quite like going to Elsica anyway, because there's a few things. There's the place where you can get all the old ephemera for fairly cheap, except for don't ask them how much the lace costs. Cause,
it's just that man, just that one person.
We went to that lace place and asked them how it was like 30 odd quid. Like, what?
It's one of these places. It's one of these places that does kind of old ephemera and junk and some antiques, and you get some bargains and you get some good stuff. And it's all split up into tiny little stalls, most of which are not manned. They just have a number on. So when you go to the cash desk on the way out, they take the number of the stall to make sure that people get the right money, and then it's run by whoever runs it. But within that, there's this one area where there's a man.
There are actually stalls there.
He's got a stall, and there's a couple of times where we've been in, and once we asked him about lace, and he just wanted stupid money for it, and it was just a tatty bundle of old scraps of lace. So we were like,
no, put that back.
couple of quid, that'll be all right. And he wanted something like 55 quid for it, so that just went back. And then another time when we went, I found a load of. It was basically looked like somebody had been practicing Japanese calligraphy on rice paper. So it was lots of scraps all bundled together, and I asked him how much, thinking that'll be a couple of quid as well. And he wanted something like 100 quid for it. So that went back. Yeah. Because I won't pay silly money for stuff.
But I like going there because of that place. Because the majority, having said that, the majority of the places are unmanned.
Yeah.
They don't want silly money for it. They just, they've got these things. It's something that they do as maybe like a side hustle, and they're making a little bit of money out of it, but they're not fleecing anybody.
Yeah. And you find some right interesting stuff there because it's such a mix.
But I also like that place because there's the craft shop there, and it does have like crafty things.
A proper craft shop.
Yeah, it has like the branded crafts. There's not just the Tim Holtz, but what's the other one? The Gypsy, isn't there? There's a Gypsy something one. Can't remember what that's called. And then there's 49
in the market. Isn't it 7 Gypsies or something like that?
7 Gypsies, yeah. And then also there is a traditional sweet shop there.
I forgot about the sweet shop. Yeah, there is.
That is great. So as you walk in, you kind of walk around in a loop, and like there's loads of places to eat and bars, and there's a glass blowing place as
I
well.
I got that lovely friendship bar from there, didn't I?
Yeah.
That big green one. Yeah.
And it, it's quite and it's got a heritage railway there as well, isn't there? And
which, funnily enough, has never been open while we've been there. Whenever we've been, it's always been closed for some reason or
not
other.
seen the steam train once.
Yeah.
So, but I like going there because you kind of walk in a loop, and there's a nice. I mean, if you were like a knitter, there's a nice knitting shop, and there's quite a few things. So we walk in, and the sweet shop is first, then it's the craft store. Oh no, it's the craft store first, and then the sweet store shop is a bit set further back, a bit further down. Yeah. Then we walk kind of round in the loop because there's a building in the middle. The glass blowing place. There's that place if you want something for a cafe.
We've had coffee in that cafe a couple of times. There's a glass blowing place. There's a health food shop.
Yeah, health food shop.
And then I think they were setting up a restaurant or something the last time we were there next. And then past the old groundwork building.
Yeah. Which used to be part of South Yorkshire.
Which would have been quite interesting to get into, because I bet that had something in it.
Yeah, I know. Well, it used to be part of Groundwork Yorkshire, so that's the company that I work for, the organisation that I work for. But they merged. Well, they merged with us, and they just kind of just disappeared as part of our entity, and we don't run any operations around that area.
Oh, I know, but in an ideal world, don't you think that would have been a fun one to go and explore and say, well, we're shutting down?
I'd have loved to have had the opportunity to, because I manage all of the properties.
Yeah.
I'd love to have had the opportunity to say, I'm going to go and work at Elsica for the day.
Yeah. You could have rented it to me. I
could go in and buy a few crafty bits while I'm there on my lunchtime. Yeah. So anyway, so that's where I like to go for those kind of things. It kind of ticks my crafty box because of the craft store.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, I really do like art from the heart.
Yeah, well, we've only done that once, haven't we?
Yeah.
We went and had a day in Harrogate, and it was amazing because we spent the whole day. We went there first, and we'd gone specifically to see art from the heart because we both bought stuff online from there before.
I don't know whether it's controversial to say. So
go on, say it anyway. Be controversial.
I know, but
do it.
I don't want to offend anybody, but I loved art from the heart, but I didn't find the service at all warm or friendly. I felt it was very cold, very just.
But that was
buy it and get out.
Yeah, that was the difference between.
But I also don't always find them particularly warm when we've gone to the craft fairs.
Yeah. Because I felt the woman that did the fabric was right chatty.
The woman in the fabric part was chatty, but I didn't deal with her.
No, I know,
because that was what I was going to say. Side.
He was as cold and
just not. But that's the only thing I'm reluctant. I love to support local companies, but I want them to want me to support them.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be me to feel obliged to. So, I'm a real stickler for good customer service, and I know I am. Because I've worked in customer service, and there isn't. I don't care how little somebody gets paid. There wasn't a national minimum wage when I worked in it. I think I was probably on about £1.35 an hour. In fact, actually, no, it was less. It was less than that because when I first started in retail, I was working on YTS, which is a Youth Opportunity Scheme, and it was £35 a week.
I was going to say it'd only just be a bit more than you get for pocket money usually.
So, I was doing a 40-hour week on £35 a week. So it was less than £1 an hour.
Yeah.
And yet, the reason I got into retail is because I was really nice. People loved me because.
But that's kind of what we were taught back then. Customer service was key, and it was about the service and how. And I just think it kind of still is, but people's attitudes.
And I just think that's the bit that's kind of lacking for me in that because it's a small business.
Yeah.
It's not like you're walking into Sainsbury's or Tesco's or the equivalent's Walmart or whatever it is or Kroger or whatever.
Yeah.
You're walking into a place that's owned by a small company, a little collective, and you'd think that would be the priority. Treat the customers well, they'll come back, they'll buy more, and that's what they're in business for.
Yeah, because that was I guess a destination for us, wasn't it? We went there specifically to go in the shop because we'd only ever done it online before.
And don't get me wrong, the online is great, and you order it and it comes and it's as it was stated, and it's great. And the store is great. It's got loads of stuff in it. I was just, when you've got really excited about going somewhere, and it was left a bit lackluster.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt, I wished I hadn't spent £73 in there.
Is that what you spent?
God. You spent a lot more than me.
I spent nearly 300 quid in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but same thing. The person on that side, he was just working a till basically.
Yeah.
And it was almost like an inconvenience that we wanted to buy stuff. And yet, in the other section, I'd gone and bought a load of fabric, and me and the woman in there had a right good old chinwag, and she wanted to know what we could do with it, and some of it I had ideas for, and some of it I just wanted because it was fabric, and she loved that, and she kind of got that and made that a bit exciting.
I think that's what even if he'd been the frosty person that he was, and he'd said, oh, have you been before, or just engaged me in a little way to make me feel like I'd got something out of it.
Yeah,
but bear in mind, we'd just driven for 45 minutes.
7 days and 2 hours.
Traversed the globe in order to... But no, do you know what I mean? I just...
I totally do.
I think for a small company, maybe you just have higher expectations. So...
But that was kind of more evident as well because the woman doing the fabric was so enthusiastic.
It was the yin and yang to...
Yeah. Maybe she just shouted him or something and we just missed it. I don't know. So he was looking at the tail. Who knows? But
anyway,
300 quid later, I was happy with my...
I don't think I spent £73. I think I spent well over.
I thought you spent... Yeah, because I thought I spent about 300 and you spent about 170.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. Because we did come away with a big bag each.
And I just thought, for that money, I wanted a bit more.
Yeah.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Sure.
More? You got to pick a pocket or two.
Oh, dear. Okay.
All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air.
Me too.
Yeah, that's a completely different movie though, but
yeah.
I've got a cough, so excuse me. So,
do you want a fun question again? Do you want to talk about somewhere else?
No.
Or should we finish talking about Harrogate? Because that wasn't...
Oh, yeah, because we didn't stop at the steam. Yeah. The brakes were not applied at Harrogate.
No, they were not applied. We went
where did we go after that?
Well, we went into Harrogate Town Centre, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, part of the Harrogate Town Centre.
The specifics of the day out was to go out from the heart, because we wanted to go see the physical shop, and that was just on the outskirts of the town centre. But we also knew we were going to go have a wander around the town centre, because you had a fond memory of it from your mum, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we literally traversed the town in a big circle and took in every single charity shop that we could find.
Yes.
Every single one.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I remember going past Betty's. Betty's is a beautiful tea shop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Past Betty's, and there was that I can't remember. Was that an Oxfam?
Where we went down the hill a bit.
Down the hill.
Yeah, that was Oxfam. That was our first.
Bought something in there.
Of course, bought a few.
I think we bought something in most places, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we stopped off for dinner at a really beautiful, exquisite restaurant, McDonald's. Harrogate is filled with gorgeous places, and we went to McDonald's.
Just sometimes.
Do you know why we went to McDonald's? Can you remember why?
No.
I really needed a wee.
There you go.
Yes.
But
So we went
didn't
there.
eat there. But just sometimes, we don't eat McDonald's very often, so just
No.
sometimes it's nice to do that trashy indulgence of just in McDonald's.
Yeah. I've just eaten 3 burgers and I still don't feel full.
And 20 minutes later, you're like that. What are we having for tea?
Yeah.
What's next?
Empty calories.
Yeah. And we went in all the charity shops, and then we went in.
All bar none. Let's just saying all bar none.
All right.
Like, because I've said over yonder, I'm
Oh,
using all of the old terms that
Oh,
people
I
don't use
see.
anymore.
And then we went in that. Again, it was a bit like a shop that different people had stuff in because he was writing down the numbers of the section that you took stuff. So when we paid for
Yes,
we got some napkins in there.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. And then you disappeared, and I managed to get something else in there.
What?
I don't know. You might find out.
Oh, right, I will see. When might I find out? Next month?
Maybe.
Or the Christmas time month?
You might find out next month.
Right. That's it. It's my birthday next month. 4th of August, if anybody,
But
wants to know.
it's difficult. It's difficult because we go most of the shopping that we do like that. We tend to go together. So I literally had to wait for him to wander off and be stood near the door, and I'm at the till going, "Can you put him in the bag as quickly as possible because I don't want him to see."
I say.
And he was very good, and you never noticed. So
no, I was oblivious.
yeah.
Oblivious.
Which is how I like it.
That's all I like.
That's how I like it when I'm buying presents for you. I don't want you to know.
I know. Yeah, I don't. I'd certainly. Well, we're quite good at buying presents. Me, you, and Vic are very good at buying presents for each other. We never ask what people want.
Yeah.
We always buy, and we're really good at getting each other things.
Yeah. And it's that whole because we pay attention to each other's conversations.
Well, yeah.
On the whole,
Vic. Sometimes, no, he does. He pays.
Actually.
He actually takes in more than I think he's taking.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to me when I tell him to close that door or take the lettuce out of the sink.
No, but he's very good.
Or fill the dishwasher.
He's very good at if you say you like a particular thing, then he'll go look for it on.
Yeah.
eBay
I know.
He's like that. He's very good at finding stuff.
And at the right time, he'll sit there and go, and we'll get really excited and and a big smile on his face, or he'll be really grumpy because he hasn't. He's lost a bid on something.
Because he started off and he'd always send me pictures and go, "What do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this?"
He doesn't do that now, does he?
Well, he doesn't need to.
Gone independent.
He doesn't need to because I said to him even back then. I said to him, I think there was only once ever where I said no to something, and it's only because you already had it that I said to him, "Don't get that."
Well, he told me something random the other day. Last night, actually, he told me that my birthday wrapping paper is vegan friendly.
Fair enough.
So it's good because I'm not. No.
So no vegans were killed.
Well, yeah, no. And I said I don't want you to wrap a vegan in it. So like, and I said, why would it be vegan friendly? Are they going to eat it? I'm on the high fibre diet. I'm only eating paper fibres.
Vegan wrapping? Why would it not be vegan?
I know. Well, that's what I was thinking. Is it normally rubbed on a pig and then?
I don't know. Paper's from a tree, isn't it?
I thought so.
I don't understand.
Vegan friendly wrapping paper. So,
can you coffee diet?
I don't.
That's all I need to know.
No, because I don't think coffee's vegan friendly, is it? So
why not?
I don't know. It's been
from a plant.
Been rubbed on a marmoset.
Unless it's that really expensive coffee that's been put in a particular animal and pooped out.
Isn't that the one that's the marmoset? Where it kind of is that a marmoset?
I don't know.
Or a marmalade?
I don't know. Lady Marmalade.
Cachet. I think what? C'est soir.
C'est soir. Isn't that just the weirdest thing, though? The most expensive coffee in the world is where a coffee bean's been given to an animal and then it's pooped it out. And
I know. Well, like
that makes it really expensive.
Who
decided that?
Yes, who went? Oh, let's just grind this up and see what kind of coffee it makes.
So did they sit there going, "Oh look, it's not digested. That coffee bean, it's still in its.
Let's reuse it.
Let's reuse it." Like I get the whole reuse, recycle, but that's pushing the boat out a little bit.
Yes, it is.
Just a little bit.
I think it's a load of crap.
You might be right. So yeah, Harrogate.
So yeah, I only ever use 12 by 12 sheets of paper that have been pooped out by an elephant. So
Really?
it's the elephant in the room usually.
I prefer him to be pooped out by a giraffe, I think.
Giraffe do?
Yeah, a giraffe do.
Why the long neck?
Because he goes him a long
It's not a horse.
Oh, dear. So yeah, Harrogate.
Yes. I'll be back there again.
That was a.
Did you see that meme I put on Facebook?
No, I don't really watch Facebook.
You don't watch Facebook, right? You
I don't look at the. I don't look at Facebook often.
I put a meme on, and it was a picture of a lion.
Yeah.
Stood outside the ark.
Oh, did you see that?
Let me explain it to the beautiful folks out there.
Tell the masses.
It was a lion on its own, a fat lion on its own,
chunky,
outside the ark, like Noah's Ark, and it said, "Crap cruise," but the buffet was brilliant. I had 2 of everything.
And even now.
And it made me laugh so much.
And even now he's going to have a coffee fit.
Honestly.
And scene.
I think I brought up lung. But I really love a dad joke. I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't, like, if I can't sing for people,
you had a dad joke calendar last year, didn't you?
Sorry?
You had a dad joke calendar last year.
Yeah. I know, but it was, no offence, it was a lot of Americanisms, and they don't land here because we don't use the same terms, you know, like, and it was quite parental. I mean, I know it's a dad joke, but like, I'm not a parent, Dad.
Or a child.
Or a child, yes. No, from the Americanisms, it doesn't land because, like, we don't use a lot of the terminology, and it's about American football, and it just doesn't land. So,
well, sport. What can I say?
Well, yeah,
sport of any kind doesn't land in this household.
No, it doesn't. No.
Although, did you catch somebody watching football?
Oh yes, Vic. He was watching whatever it was that they were playing, the Tiddlywinks match thing, whatever it was called.
Euros,
that's it.
I forgot to say it to him when I saw him. I was going to be like, you?
He was watching.
Who are you? What's going on?
I did say to him, who are you? Where's my Vic? What have you done with him? I was like, seriously. What?
Oh dear.
So yes, I don't know.
Cool.
Maybe I had a bang on the head.
Here's a question for you then.
Question.
If we wrote a book about your life, what would it be called?
Ooh. Don't Stop Me Now. I'm having such a good time. Give me a call.
Would you open the book in it and sing it at you?
Yes, it would. It'd be a big, like, pop-up book as well, with interactive slidey things.
And lights going on.
Yeah. I don't know. What would yours be called?
Don't know.
You asked the question.
I didn't. I'm just posing a question that somebody else said.
I know, but you asked me it, so
well, I know, to give me a chance to think about it.
Oh right, okay. Well, I didn't talk for long enough.
Yeah. And it's not like you to not talk for long.
Maybe that's what my book should be called.
Well, the question was, if somebody wrote a book about your life, what would it be called? So maybe I'd call it "It's My Life, Leave It Alone."
Because if it's post-mortem, it would be called Silence.
Or maybe it should be "It's My Life, Don't You Forget," because somebody else is writing about me, and I should be writing about myself.
I can't do the "It's My Life." that one that was off the Lady Feminine products. I can't listen to that song anymore since it's been on that. All I can think is Blue Dye. So.
Oh, dear. This is probably totally inappropriate for this podcast.
I'm going to cough again. Hang on. It's the laughing. I tell you now, it's the laughing.
So it's probably totally inappropriate, but along the same lines for this podcast. But have you seen the latest adverts where it's like a weather forecast and they're talking about the flow and if it's light or heavy, and it's got two women in a studio like newsreaders and a man who's a newsreader who talks about the flow being heavy and then makes some comment about just being enlightened and wanting to know. It's kind of fun that it's becoming more normalised, because I'm sure for a lot of people it makes life easier, and for young girls learning and stuff like that. But it's just the weirdest thing to watch, because it's always been something that's so not talked about for so many years. It's just funny. Go on.
Of course, found a couple of dad jokes. I've got. What do you call a sheep that can sing and dance? Lady Baba. Why can't dinosaurs clap my hands?
Don't know.
Because they're extinct.
Okay. Is that Mark? Are we moving on?
Who won the neck decorating contest?
The what decorating?
The neck decorating contest.
I don't know.
No one. It was a tie. That's the thing about a dad joke. It has to be terrible and make you think, why am I laughing?
Or coughing. Oh dear. So we finished with Harrogate. We almost got lost on the way back to the car.
Dogs can't operate MRI machines, but cats can. Cats can.
All right, enough.
Never enough.
Oh dear. So we've talked about Elsker, we've talked about Harrogate. Tell the lovely people about Scrap.
Scrap. Oh, what a place. So have twinkly music and the wavy, like you're going back in time. Soft focus. Oh, you need me in soft focus, to be fair.
Only if you're not coughing.
You need my cough in soft focus.
It'd be quiet then, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. Silence.
And twinkly.
Post-mortem book.
Yeah.
I need a ghostwriter. So, it's in Farsley. It's called
Which is a suburb of Leeds.
Which, suburb of Leeds. Although it's quite independent. You can tell it used to be its own place before it was swallowed by Leeds.
Yeah, it's a little villagey place.
It's beautiful. If you watch the Great British Sewing Bee, the later episodes, the later series, are filmed there in Sunnybank Mills, yeah.
Sunnyside Up.
Sunnyside Up Mills. No, Sunnybank Mills. Although they're filmed in a slightly different part, and Scrap's in that same kind of complex.
Yeah.
And it is just a fantastic treasure trove of unique wonders of industrial carnage, basically.
It's just got so much of everything, hasn't it?
So what they do is they stop things from going to landfill. So it could be industrial waste, and I don't mean like, slurry or toxic waste or toxic waste, but like things like it might be pieces of cardboard that have got holes cut out of it because it's had a product packing thing stamped out of it, and like the waste is left.
You can buy rolls of the waste from sequins.
Yeah, so that long meshy stuff with all the holes in from making sequins, and
the wrapping paper from Quality Street.
Yeah, so chocolate
still on
bars,
the roll.
and so all of the
display stuff from shops.
What's it called though? The wrapping paper. What's that called? The see-through cellophane. Yeah, so lots of different coloured cellophanes, but there's also things like the tubes that you get shuttlecocks and telephone balls, tennis balls in it. Because like sports places have used the contents, and then there's
fabric galore, leather offcuts,
packing materials and foam and
stuff where offices have been played out, old envelopes, and like I bought those rolls of paper that were like a big, almost like a big fat till roll. It looked like, but when we looked at it, it's like the offcut of an envelope. So the roll of paper with the white
roll of
that's white on one side and like the blue security bit on the inside. Whatever was left after the envelopes had been made was on a roll, and they sold those. And it's all sorts. There's always something that just were like,
and things like buttons, and there's haberdashery stuff, and there's also, it's laid out nicely as well, and it's like
and
stuff
the people that work there are amazing and so nice and friendly, and
there's stuff that you wouldn't find anywhere else.
No.
But if you ever get this, I mean, like lots of places have that kind of an ethos kind of shop these days. Is stopping it from going to landfill and repurposing it in some ways. And there's a lot of like you say, remnants of material. So rather than scrapping that goes.
Yeah, like so there are businesses that have gone out, fashion businesses that have gone out of business, so they've had the end of roles. Like Pretty Green, who was one of Oasis's. One of the boys from Oasis had a label called Pretty Green, and they went into bankruptcy or liquidation or whatever.
Administration.
There you go, that's the word. And all of the rolls of fabric that had been used in their last collection ended up at scrap.
Yeah.
So stuff where you'd seen these things in Pretty Green shop windows, they then had the rolls of fabric.
Yeah.
But even stuff like, remember those squares that I got? They were like fabric, furniture fabric. And they were samples made that would have been possibly seat covers or sofa covers in different colours and different textiles. And I went on the day when they just arrived, and Lou was rolling them up and in bunches of 5.
So explain who Lou is, because people won't know who Lou are.
Louise is the woman who kind of started it all, and who is the
head honcho. Really nice. Has a dog.
Yeah, but nicest person, And literally, she's rolling 5 into bundles of 5, and I was like, "Whoa, what are they?"
And it's in an old mill as well, so it's so the floor's like that undulating, not very flat wooden floor.
And there are lots of bits in there as well that kind of came with the mill or that they've required. That you're like, "Oh, Lou, how much is that?" And she's like, "No, that stays. That stays right."
So you get, and they get things like when. Retailers, they've had a lot of Next stuff and Marks and Spencer stuff, like display stuff. So, like Christmas windows, they'll have the stuff. We have the shimmery.
There was like a 6-foot queue in there. One of the first times we went in there, and it was like, and it had obviously been in a window or something, because it was like a 3D letter Q, gold mirrored, and I just remember walking in and thinking, no idea where I'd put it or what I'd do with it.
Yeah, but
I want that queue. I want a 6-foot queue for some reason.
And like I got that shimmer board, like I wished I'd got more of it, but like
But I reckon they'll have more at some point. Yeah.
But they just have lovely, just bits, and like I tell you now, just have a look and see if there's any organisation near you that does a similar sort of thing, because. There's loads of places springing up all around the UK and further afield, America and that sort of thing. And they're really good at rescuing stuff, because like the company that I work for, so the organisation that I work for is called Groundwork, and we are an environmental charity. So obviously it makes sense for me to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we also work with charities that rescue paint from going to landfill. So
seagulls.
Yeah, seagulls. So like end of line paint or paint that's been used in an industrial project. So, like, when like they're painting new houses and that sort of thing, and there's bits half cans and that sort of thing, and it stops it going to landfill, and it's just such a great enterprise, and it just so fits. I feel like I'm like I don't know. I don't have the words to advocate it enough, but I feel that we, as junk journalists, this is our opportunity to do something.
Well, that's the thing.
Because we like junk.
Yeah, we'll just go back a bit, because we both said Seagulls. So Seagulls, again, is a place in Leeds that...
I don't like Seagulls that steal your chips. Though.
No. It's the name of a place where all that extra paint ends up, and then they either sell it in smaller pots or they'll remix it, or they've started doing, you can go get paint mixed in the colour you want, using all these bits and bobs, so it all gets used up.
Yeah.
So that's who Seagulls is, that's why.
But our organisation, Groundwork, in Hull, do a similar thing.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of... There's a company, and I can't think of what the company's called, but they sell chalk paint, and we stop the X colours of chalk paint going to landfill. They come to us.
Yeah.
And that we don't have the rights to do it in the Leeds area, but we can do it in the Hull area.
Yeah.
So
but you're right. As junk journalists, it's perfect for the things that we do and make, and the using of junk and the keeping of junk, and the not putting junk in landfill.
So, like, you can. There's lots of frugal things that we can do. So, like, for instance, you don't have to go and buy gesso. You can use emulsion. So, and some people use emulsion with a bit of sand in it, so it's got that grit to it that it needs.
Yeah.
There's lots of things. We're very crafty people. We can find ways to use things.
Yeah.
And that's why. So the majority of the paint that I have, so like my acrylic paint, hasn't ever been bought. It's been stuff that I've stopped somebody else throwing away. So like Brian had got some recently, and he was going to throw some away, and it was actually in my bin, and I rescued it from the bin, didn't I?
No, not the acrylic paint. That was
the
Airfix
I know, but there was some acrylic in there.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, and you've got Pebeo paint in there and all sorts of things.
I thought I gave you the box that I gave you and said.
Oh right. No, but definitely was some Pebeo in there as well.
So the other box was Airfix paint that somebody had given me, who somebody's dad had died, and he used to make Airfix models or something, and they didn't.
But I was thinking, with the Airfix paint, I was thinking those little tins. They don't come in those little tins anymore. Mm-hmm. They come in and these are like really tiny little paint pails.
Yeah.
With a prize-off lid, just like a paint pail does. And I was thinking, once I've used it, I want to keep the thing and turn that into something as well. So because they're packed in plastic now, but they come in metal. They used to come in metal. And the lid colour was the colour of the paint inside.
Yeah.
And
I remember it well.
A bit like Smarties tubes used to be.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm not quite. I'm really passionate about that. So
a little bit.
Yeah, I know, but like, I think everyone should have a scrap.
They should.
Because as much as scrap take and have, they can't save everything from every production place going to landfill.
But they do a lot.
They divert a huge
and they still try and get more.
I'll try and remember to link scrap in here. So even if it's not near you, I would suggest you just go and have a look at their website and just see the things that they do.
Yeah.
Because they do creative play stuff, so they'll get kids from local schools, and they'll come and they'll play with all of this stuff and turn them into giant robots
and junk, and they do all.
It's amazing. It's just fantastic. I think it's just, and we need to encourage kids to play with stuff rather than keep buying stuff. So then I used to love playing with boxes and making forts and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but kids don't, unless you've bought it and it's made of plastic and it's...
Those kind of areas though, Farsley and around there, and even Bramley, where Rainbow House is, they kind of feed into some of those older things because they do things like they have scarecrow trails and stuff like that. So the kids make scarecrows and you can go and you do a trail round and then there's a prize at the end of it for the best one.
I think that's also, you encourage creative play in kids, and in later life they're more likely to want to be creative.
Yeah.
We need to encourage creativity.
I think you just do generally because being creative gets more creativity ultimately. The more you do it, the more you open yourself to experiences and creativity, and your brain expands, and you get interested and you go off on tangents as we do on many things.
That's why I don't have any hair. Because my brain has expanded so much, it's pushed all the hair follicles out. So.
Fair enough.
So there you go.
Cool. So scrap.
So go and have a look at scrap.
Yeah, go have a look at scrap. So what else do we have? Bygone Times. You just want to touch on Bygone Times?
Bygone Times is in
Chorley.
So it's that Lancashire way.
Yeah.
Chorley. That's how they speak in you're not allowed to mention Lancashire when you're in Yorkshire. It's like the War of the Roses still going on. Anyway,
I will make an exception to go to Bygone Times.
Okay. So Bygone Times is like I was going to say a gianter, but that's not a word.
Gianter. It's like a gianter.
A bigger version of Elsica. Well, yeah, the shop in Elsica.
Yeah. It's like an aircraft hangar or a couple of aircraft hangars.
Yeah. Filled to the gills. Well, it certainly was when we went.
Yeah.
Filled to the gills with old stuff, vintage, a mixture of old and vintage stuff. So some of it is collectible, some isn't. Like you can find things from the blasts from the past. Old telephones and stuff that we don't see anymore, cassette players and cassettes and records but all the stuff that isn't really worth much, right the way through to the valuable antique things and the collector stuff and it's really, really, like Brian says, really big. But they also do clothing there, don't they? They have retro clothing.
Yeah, clothing.
I think I remember you trying on
stuff. I bought a jacket there.
Yeah. Oh yes, you did.
An old tweedy jacket.
Yeah.
You saw plates.
Plates.
Did you buy some?
I think. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I bought them there. But I collect Denby crockery, so my
old Denby.
My auntie used to have Denby in a variety of patterns, so they're all mix and match things. And I have since collected those because I've got those now.
Yeah.
And they're just beautiful and they're kind of linked to the past and they're and actually, do you know something? They're so resilient as well.
Denby always was. I always remember that about Denby.
That stuff that you could kind of
it's kind of what
throw at somebody and it's fine.
To bounce it off your husband's head and when he came in from pub and not a chick out of it or a chip out of it.
Yeah.
Even.
So I just really liked it. I remember walking around it and it was big.
It was a whole day out, properly a whole day out, and we could have probably had another whole day there and not seen it all.
Yeah.
So, because we looked at absolutely everything, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. We did.
Yeah. So, it was fab.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go again. Yeah. We are gold members because we have to become members.
We'll have to wait until I've got my new car.
Yeah, when you get your new car. So, cool. And then, so the other big thing we do is we used to, and we still do it occasionally when we shop, is payday go around Morley.
Yeah, charity shopping.
Yeah, every single charity shop in Morley, because it's where you work and there are quite a few.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. There's Sense, Scope, British Heart Foundation, Cats Protection League, Bernardo's. Is it a Bernardo's? Yeah, Bernardo's. There's RSPCA. Oxfam, St Gemma's, and that's it now. Because the other place, that little place, closed.
All right.
But I can't remember what they were called anyway.
And Oxfam has the
and
manager in the world.
And there's what's it called? Oh, Salvation Army there as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I had.
If you want to get abused,
she was really horrible to me. She triggered me to have a meltdown in her store, and then she was abusive towards me and said, when I said, I need to go, I could remember getting out, I need to go, I need to get out of here, I'm in crisis. And she said, are you serious right now? In a very derogatory way. I complained about her to the area manager, and he wasn't really. He said, we've had quite a few complaints about her, and
she is just. I've seen her being rude to her, but she's just the rudest woman. She really is. How she manages to keep a job at all.
He didn't really seem to care,
clearly,
and he said
he don't care.
He suggested to me I should go somewhere else.
Oh, nice.
He said, there's another Oxfam in Leeds, and I said, I don't think I'll be going to Oxfam for a long time yet.
Honest to God.
So I haven't been back in there since.
I'm not surprised.
That was about a year ago, and I've not been back since.
I'm not surprised.
I'd rather not give them my money. Thanks very much.
Yeah. And they do, of all the charities, I have to say, they kind of latched onto this whole, people want this stuff.
Yeah. So we'll double the price.
So they now have the policy of everything gets looked up, and if it's worth money, it gets inflated in price. And so you can go some places that are like, hardback books, 250p. Just get rid of them, whereas they're like $7.99.
We'd rather not sell it.
Yeah, we'd rather not sell it than you have 250p.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of charity shops in Morley, and
there's plenty of choice.
Yeah, there is
better choice.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not losing out in any.
Again, it's that whole bad customer service.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happens? What happens?
Yeah.
So there you go. There's our crafty recommendations.
Yes.
So
go to the places we recommend, and don't go to the places we don't.
Yeah. Where do we not go anymore?
Don't go to Hobbycraft. They don't sell anything.
If you're in the UK,
don't go to Hobbycraft because they don't sell anything to do with Tim Holtzy stuff or junk journaling stuff anymore. It's really very commercial crafts these days.
Yeah.
Just thinking about time, so I'm trying to just whittle through it.
Well, do you think if you've got to go do this, so maybe an extra 10 minutes?
It's not 10 minutes worth.
You reckon?
No.
All right.
Yeah. Talking 2 minutes worth of that.
Okay. Some quick fire questions then.
No, I was going to say the other place. Let's keep the quick fire questions for next time.
All right.
The other place that we don't go anymore is Samuel Taylor's.
I know, but that's sad.
They used to have a great craft place on the outskirts of Leeds that we used to go to, and then that closed, and then they had the one in Brighouse, and that's closed.
Yeah.
And the one in Leeds City Centre I haven't been for ages, but every time I went, the craft section got smaller.
They've gone back to kind of the fabric and the one in Huddersfield Market. I don't even know if it's still there, but the last time I was there, same thing. They've gone back to their haberdashery roots, I suppose, which is sad because, during lockdown, Mr. Taylor, the younger who owns it all now, used to deliver fabric.
Mr. Grace.
Yeah, like young Mr. Grace, but he used to deliver fabric to my door for me.
Yeah.
And when I was making masks and stuff, clearly he wanted the business. So when they got new fabrics in, he'd send me pictures of it, and then he'd deliver the fabric to my door. So, so they were lovely, and generally the women that worked in there were fairly good. There were a couple of grumpy ones, but I could cope with that.
Ground floor, perfumery, stationery and leather goods, gifts and haberdashery, kitchenware and food going up. First floor, telephones, gents' ready-made suits, shirts, socks, ties, hats, underwear and shoes going up. That was Grace Brothers, by the way. So, not Samuel Taylor.
For anyone that doesn't know it, look up Are You Being Served?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure lots of people know it, but just
very camp 1970s comedy of the UK.
Well, I suppose 70s and 80s because
yes, it was early 80s.
Years.
Yeah. Early 80s as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it for us. So, now you're at the first floor.
We've crafted.
We'll let you use the stairs to get out.
We've chatted.
So yes.
Well,
we've bantered.
Once you've cranked the lift.
Yes. Yeah. No. We've taken them up in the lift.
No.
They can use the stairs now.
Fair enough. It's probably safer.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Dave of Dash of Dave, and this has been
Brian
of
the Silvered Fox.
Say goodbye, Brian.
Bye, Brian. Say goodbye, Dave.
Bye, Dave.
Woo.
Take care, folks. See you soon. Bye. We're waving. You can't see. Bye.